think it'd have been very easy if we'd have just gone, well, I've played with this guy before, let's just grab him, and I've played with him before, let's just grab him. But I definitely didn't want to do that because I think the likelihood of finding your perfect band in the same street or town or city as you is very minimal. I just thought, let's see what the country's got to offer. If I'm in Liverpool and you're in Oxford, it doesn't really matter where everybody else is as long as everyone's willing to get together.
Bringing the other members in was kind of odd, really.
It feels in my head almost like, and then I rang him and he came down, then I rang him and he came down, and then we were a band the next morning. It kind of feels like that in my head, but in reality, it definitely wasn't.
Drummer-wise was hard. We searched hard and hard. I mean, the idea of the band was to go and find the best musicians in the country and put together what a rock and roll band should be.
Aaron had a solo show in Belfast, and he said, "Oh, we've got enough room to kind of to bring you along. You know, we'll go early and we'll have a jam. We'll go and hang out with Cormac and write some songs."
I know that Jonnie and Aaron were on the hunt for the right drummer for quite some time.
And Joe popped up out of nowhere, really.
We'd been looking at trying to find drummers on like Facebook and stuff.
They told me, so this could be completely wrong. They were sat in a hotel room in Ireland, and they were just scrolling through Facebook trying to find anybody that looked like they could play drums who had long hair was kind of the criteria.
I'd been scrolling through Facebook for days and I found this picture of Joe and he just looked really cool. So I said to Aaron, when we were in Belfast, we should message him. He said, "Oh, drop him a message." I went, "Well, he won't fucking know who I am. You know what I mean? You've been in Classic Rock magazine, mate. If you message him, he might, you know, he might fucking respond."
And I'd shot Joe a message,
just kind of saying, "Hey, do you want to get together for a jam sometime?"
just seeing what he was into and everything.
To which I was absolutely ecstatic because I'd already heard of Aaron. I'd seen his face in Classic Rock a few times, so I definitely knew who he was. So I was excited to be involved from the get-go.
No, he was straight in.
Yeah, it was all pretty much through Facebook, which sounds really shit, to be honest, but it's the way things are kind of done these days. So Aaron sent me that message and I replied saying, "Yeah, I'll get together." Then Jonnie immediately added me and just started like absolutely hounding me with like, "Who's your favourite band? Who's your favourite drummer? Give me your top 10 favourite drummers right now." I was like, what have I got myself in for here?
He was up for travelling and he came straight to Liverpool. We set up a jam.
In a kind of dirty, grimy studio in Liverpool.
And he was great, man. Like instantly there was just something really magical about the way he was playing the tunes.
We played through the first kind of couple of songs that they'd written together and it just worked.
And it felt like, I guess the correct term is it just felt like home.
So there wasn't really much of a conversation of like, "You are now going to be the drummer." It was just like, "We'll see you next time." So that's how I kind of knew I'd got the job, as it were, you know. I
brought in the bass player who'd been playing with me for the last year, I guess. He kind of jumped straight in. He was the obvious choice. And then also Tom, our keys player.
Tom's great, man. Tom, the keys player, is loopy.
I'd been playing in a very, very hard psychedelic rock band called Riddles. We're based in Hastings, but we'd most often be in London. And the drummer from that, Mike Frank, was also moonlighting for Keylock at the time. This is before Keylock, so it's Aaron Keylock, to give it his full name. Aaron asked me to come audition as a bassist, as I was playing bass in that band. And I don't know, I passed the audition, put it that way, but we got on very well. It's just like, you know, bantering about. And a couple of months later, I got a call from Aaron saying, "You play keys?" I can't do his voice, but do you play keys? And I was like, "Yeah, that's sort of all I do. I don't know what I was doing playing bass anyway. It's just a band that sort of like turn up the amp loud and you just play one note." So, you know, he said, "All right, well, you better come back up then." So I drove back up to London. Yeah, we just sort of played one little sort of shot of songs together that he'd sent over the night before. And he was like, "Yeah, great. All right, do you want to come play some dates?" So he went out to Europe and played the Aaron Keylock songs, his first album. His album under his own name, which is, they're cracking songs and they're good to play live. He was very open with what I could do. He was like, "I don't want you to play what's on the record. You know, you're playing the song, but you bring what you do, you come do what you want." And when someone gives you that permission, because as I didn't know him that well, I was like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm, you know, just playing for the man here and I do my bit and go home, you know, or whether I can come and play in a band." And I think I'm always 10 times better at doing music if you know, if you feel like you've got both hands on it and it's you and you own it, that you're not sort of blagging it and you know, turn up and do your thing and go home and it's not your responsibility. I thought, no, I like these songs and I want to play on them. So that was how I got to know Aaron. We played quite a few gigs around Europe, and then he sort of announced that he was thinking about stopping playing as himself. He didn't want to do that anymore. He actually wanted to keep playing, but as a band. I think the whole band vibe, suddenly hit him that all his career he'd been playing as the guitar's the star sort of player, which he's phenomenal at doing.
I mean, I'd been doing that thing since 11 really, and then like you get stuck in a rut, you know what I mean? And I think it takes a lot sometimes for an artist to stand back. You know, you get stuck in a label, you get stuck in this, and it's too easy to just cling on. But I think it's less about playing games and more about telling the truth. So I'm glad I pulled myself back from that and threw myself into this, because I think a lot of good's going to come out of it.
We knew we wanted a keys player anyway. I didn't want to just I'd been in bands with two guitar players, and I like that dynamic, but I'd never been in a rock and roll band with a keys player. To me, it was one of those sounds that needed to be there, that Rhodes, Hammond, proper old-fashioned piano sound.
I'd heard a fair bit about Jonnie. I'd never met him. I heard this thing about, Aaron's gone up to meet this singer in a practice room, and I'd heard this, reputation he had as a bit of a bruiser and a bit of a boozer. I thought, I'm a bit skeptical. I don't know if I want to be around someone who's like a walking pub. I don't know how I'm going to get on with this bloke.
We kind of coaxed him down to a rehearsal in London.
We met the night before the gig,
and it worked instantly. And then the night after, we had an acoustic show, like a management showcase.
So we recorded the songs up that night, just me and Jonnie.
And Tom learnt all the songs overnight and came and played it, and it was just it was killer, man.
And then played the gig in a little sort of it's a vegan cafe in Camden.
We played in front of the management for the first time, and a lot of different industry people, and that's kind of where that started.
Like all nice candles, red backdrop, very plush, and they had a real piano in there, which is such a rarity. So I really enjoyed everything about that gig, and got to know Jonnie, who's an absolute gent. He's one of the kindest souls, one of the nicest, big-hearted people out there. So meeting the two of them together and playing shows with them has it's been a good friendship as well as a good band.
Everyone's just great musicians and nice to be around, which is it's just nice. Like it's incredible that we've found sort of 5 guys from all corners of the UK that can get together in a room and it just be natural. Like from the moment we got together, it was always natural. And yeah, for us all to get on with each other and to be able to play music together in a way that works is pretty miraculous. But please, it has worked out that way.
From putting the band together as a full unit to being on stage didn't feel like very long. Some bands take 6 months, years, whatever to go from writing, but we literally started writing in the March, April, and then in the January of the next year we were on stage together.
And we kept going with that lineup to this last summer, really.